She was terrified of the pain from IV drips. So, he stubbornly pricked his own arm 999 times just to find the most painless spot. Because she loved walking barefoot, he covered the entire villa in plush carpet. Yet, she believing a flawed lie from Nan, she stood in the freezing snow for a day and a night. Even after a 3-day coma from high fever, she forced him to let her go. This was her rebirth moment, remembering the man she repeatedly hurt. Tears instantly spilled from her eyes. With her throat raw and aching, she could only croak out a hoarse, desperate cry of longing. Chenny want to see Chen. Ignoring the excruciating pain racking her body, she only wanted to see Lin Yichen. Stumbling out of the room, she just wanted that man to hold her again. The servants were terrified to see her like this, wondering if their young mistress was trying to escape, despite her weak state. But Su-ran had absolutely no strength left. Every few steps, she collapsed heavily onto the floor. Xiao Ya turned pale. They all knew this woman was their master's absolute treasure. If she got hurt, their lives would not be enough to pay for it. Yet, Su-ran ignored the throbbing pain. She only wanted to get downstairs and see Lin Yichen. She had so much to tell him. Suddenly, a dark shadow loomed over her. Saying nothing, the man bent down and scooped her into his arms, his face dark and his thin lips pressed tight. He carried her toward the bedroom without looking back. Su-ran stared blankly at him, her tears spilling over once more. In the 10 minutes since waking up, no moment made her feel more vividly alive than this, but the man refused to look at her. He was tired of her cold, blade-like glares. He had resolved to let her go, but the moment he heard she was awake, he lost all control. He abandoned a room full of executives and ran all the way here, only to see her collapsed on the floor, making his heart ache uncontrollably. He had only planned to catch a distant glimpse and leave, but he simply could not let go. Yet, what was she doing now? Crying? Was it because he dared to hold her? Did she loathe him so much that she could not even bear his touch? Saying nothing, Lin Yichen carried her back to the bedroom and placed her gently on the bed. For some reason, he felt she was different. As he held her, he felt a strange sense of dependency from her, but remembering the past, he smiled bitterly. He had to be losing his mind to imagine things. She loathed him so much she would brave a freezing storm for a day and night just to escape him. The memory felt like a heavy stone crushing his chest. He could control everything else, and everyone bowed to his will. Yet this woman was his fated enemy, always pointing the sharpest, most painful weapons directly at his heart. Yet even bruised and battered, he refused to let go. Su-ran wept, clutching his hem tightly. She had so much to tell him, but the moment she looked at him, her throat felt glued shut. Ran. He murmured, "If you recover this time, I will let you go. I will never bother you again." His words were absolute, yet each syllable sliced through his own heart. He could not bear to see her destroy herself anymore, so he chose to let go. The fragile light in her eyes shattered as he spoke his final word. Hardening his heart, he pulled his clothes from her grasp. Lying on the bed, Su-ran felt him pulling away, but she did not dare let go. She opened her mouth, but in her panic, she could not utter a single word. The more she rushed, the quieter she became. Fresh tears poured down her cheeks. All her longing and terror could only be expressed through silent weeping. "Su-ran, what do you want? Is this a game to you? Are you only happy when you trample on my pride?" He could not understand her. Lately, she had treated him like poisons, banning him from even entering his own main villa. Hearing this, Su-ran felt a sharp pain slice through her chest like countless daggers, stabbing her deep. She finally understood the agonizing torment he had endured in her past life. She tried to speak, but her swollen throat was blocked, leaving her completely mute. So, she simply grabbed his hand tightly and held him close, sobbing silently. He froze completely. Since bringing her to this villa, they had never shared such intimacy. Looking at her face so close to his heart skipped a beat. He dared not move, convincing himself her behavior was just a fever dream. Perhaps in her hazy state, she had mistaken him for Han Muzuo. "Su-ran, do you know what you are doing? I am not Han Muzuo. You have the wrong man." He spoke with bitter anger, though his words only wounded himself deeper. Her tears fell once more. How deeply had she broken this man to make him so insecure? She stared into his eyes as the last trace of light faded from them. The next second, she pressed her soft lips directly against his. He completely froze. He had dreamed of this kiss forever, but actually receiving it filled him with sudden terror. Confused and panicked, he pushed her away, trying to speak Ran, "You." But before he could speak, her lips blocked his mouth again, pressing with even greater intensity. The sharp metallic taste of blood filled their mouths like a wild stimulant, slowly dismantling his remaining shred of sanity. His self-control shattered. Just then, the bedroom door flew open. Lee Junon burst inside. Lin Yichin, what is this woman throwing a tantrum about now? He froze instantly, clutching his medical kit, unsure whether to step in or back out. Lin Yichin snapped back to reality the instant the door opened, his mind in complete disarray. He had no idea what she was playing at. Come in and examine her. She seems delirious. Lee Junon looked at the obediently quiet woman. He felt a wave of doubt. Was it just him? Or did she seem like a completely different person? Why is the IV needle out? Let us take her temperature first. If the fever broke, she should be fine. He pulled out the thermometer. He glanced at Lin Yichin. You should do it. It needs to go under her armpit. Hearing this, Lin Yichin froze, a flicker of panic in his eyes. He stood rigid, hesitant to take it, making the doctor frown even deeper. Should I call Nanny Lu to help? Before he could finish, a pale, slender hand reached out, slid the thermometer from his fingers, and tucked it gently under her arm. Both men stared in absolute shock. She had never cooperated like this. She actually accepted the treatment. While they stood dazed, she tugged gently at his hem once more. She was no longer crying, but her face was a picture of pure grievance. Watching silently, Lee Junon wondered if a single illness could change a person so completely, or if she was possessed. What is wrong? Are you in pain? Lin Yichin asked, his voice laced with tender concern. Suran forced herself to hold back her tears, knowing she could not keep weeping. She had been reborn. She could not waste her second chance on tears. She pointed to her throat, but only a harsh, croaking sound came out. Lee Junon understood. He carefully examined her throat and sighed. You just survived a high fever for 2 days and nights. It is bound to hurt. I will prescribe some anti-inflammatory meds, drink plenty of warm water and try to stay quiet for a few days. He glanced at Lin Yichin, shaking his head at his friend's endless devotion. He had known Lin Yichin for nearly 20 years. The most powerful man in the city had thrown away all his pride for one woman. Nobody would believe it. 5 minutes later, she handed over the thermometer. 36.8 degrees. The fever is down. You should redo her IV drip. Lee Junon picked up his kit and left. An awkward silence settled over the quiet room. Feeling her intense gaze, Lin Yichin grew tense, remembering the harsh rules she had once set. When he first brought her to the villa, she forbade him from entering the main building. Heartbroken but wanting her to stay, he had willingly moved out. Let me redo the needle. It might sting a little, he murmured gently. He looked at her as if pleading for her permission. Su Ran's heart ached. How incredibly cruel had she been in her past life to make such a proud, powerful man act so timid. Seeing no resistance, he took her hand. He had no medical training. But when she once refused to let anyone else give her an IV, he spent an hour practicing on his own arm until he got it right. Now, after gently securing the needle, he went to stand. But as he went to rise, she grabbed his sleeve again, shaking her head eagerly. He paused, silent for a long moment. Do you want me to stay? She nodded quickly, trying to speak now that her panic had subsided. Before she could utter a sound, he spoke. Junon said you must not talk. We can talk once you are fully recovered. Fear surged through her. Terrified he would let her go, her tears fell freely. Chen, she gasped silently. He wanted to say more, but her tears shattered his newly built defenses. He gently wiped her damp cheeks. Ran, please do not cry. You will hurt your eyes. If it makes you happy, I will do anything. Just do not cry. Please stop crying, okay? His tender care only deepened her remorse. How blind had she been in her past life to ignore his love and hurt him repeatedly? She tried to speak again, but her throat only allowed one raw word. No, heartbroken, he suddenly remembered something and handed her his phone. Ran, type whatever you want to say. She stared at the screen, realizing how foolish she had been. If she could not speak, she could easily write it down. Chen, stay with me. She typed the simple words and handed him the screen. His expression shifted, a wave of confusion in his eyes. Ran, you want me to stay here? But in the past, you always. Before he could finish, she frantically typed another message. Chen, I was wrong in the past. I understand everything now. I want to be with you forever and ever, okay? He froze, staring at the screen in complete breathless disbelief. A lump formed in his throat, as tears blurred his vision. Watching him desperately seek answers with such caution, her heart softened with immense guilt. She reached out, gently placing her hand against his cheek as he leaned into her touch. He was bewildered. Why was this once thorny woman suddenly so gentle? Yet, Lin Yichen craved her touch. Even if it was a dream, a fleeting moment, he felt she was truly his. She too wanted to comfort his fragile heart. Looking at this fragile man, a faint smile graced Suran's pale face. She patted the empty spot beside her. Lin Yichen froze in disbelief. Sighing softly, Suran picked up her phone and typed, "A Chen, sleep with me." Reading those words, a spark flashed in Lin Yichen's dark eyes, though he still feared it was a mere illusion. Seeing his hesitation, Suran grabbed his hand and pulled him down. Only then did he cautiously sit beside her. Seeing no rejection, he leaned against the headboard. Suran sighed inwardly. Where was the domineering man who had kidnapped her? If he refused to take the initiative, she would just have to throw herself into his arms. With that, she threw her arms around him. Lin Yichen went stiff, not daring to move. After a long, tense silence, he stammered, Ran, what is wrong?" Suran sighed again, looking at what she had reduced him to. This ruthless titan of the underworld now looked like a frightened, loyal puppy. She kissed his cheek tenderly, then rested her head on his chest and closed her eyes. In her past life, she had been blind, deceived by fake affection. Now that she had a second chance, she would make everyone pay. But most of all, she would cherish her man. Leaning back, Lin Yichen wondered if his own high fever was causing him to hallucinate. Ran, he whispered. "I was already about to let you go. Why are you doing this?" Gently, he caressed her delicate face, his eyes overflowing with endless love. Having tasted this sweetness, how could he ever let her leave? In the dim room, he stared at the ceiling. Ran, let us entangle our lives forever. Even if you hate me, let us stay bound. The woman in his arms whimpered softly in her sleep, as if answering his quiet plea. Outside, the snow fell through the night. Yet, unlike the freezing days before, a strange warmth enveloped the entire estate. The next morning, Suran woke to an empty bed, feeling a sudden pang of longing. Just then, the door opened. "Miss Su, you are awake. Would you like breakfast here, or should I help you freshen up first?" Every word from the maid was laced with extreme caution, showing just how difficult Suran used to be. "Sister Xiaoya, where is a Chen?" Suran asked. The maid froze, utterly shocked by the affectionate nickname. Previously, Suran had only yelled his full name. "The master is handling business in the West Wing. Do you need him, Miss Su?" Knowing he was still home, Suran pulled back the blanket to get up. Xiaoya rushed forward as if serving royalty, reaching out to support her. But Suran gently pushed her away. "No need, I am not disabled." Hearing this, Xiaoya trembled with fear. She nearly fell to her knees. Miss Su looking at the stunning girl before her, Xiaoya felt something had shifted. "It is nothing. I have just realized a few things. Go on, I will eat downstairs after I freshen up." Walking into the closet, Suran saw the few remaining suits. She recalled how, after a failed escape, she had shredded his clothes and thrown them out the window. Yet, he had only told her to be careful not to cut her hands. How blind had she been in her past life? Lost in thought, she walked downstairs. The grand hall was bustling with servants, but the moment she appeared, the lively chatter died instantly into dead silence. They bowed their heads, terrified of upsetting this notorious little ancestor. Suran frowned, but who could she blame? This was the reputation she had built. As she entered the dining room, she heard a collective sigh of relief behind her. She twitched. Was she really that terrifying? Well, considering her reputation. Perhaps she was. Never mind, she would just play the sweet, obedient wife to her dominant CEO. The contrast would actually be quite charming. She poured herself some porridge, but the empty table made her feel lonely. "Has a Chen eaten?" she asked. "The master usually dines in the West Wing, Miss Su. He should be finished by now." Just then a servant rushed in. Whispering into Xiaojia's ear, the servant looked panicked. Xiaojia turned to Suran hesitantly. "Miss Su, the master is at the door. He wants to come in," but before she could finish, a dark shadow flashed past. Suran was already gone. She never imagined she would ever crave seeing someone this badly. She cursed her past behavior. This was Lin Yuchen's own home, yet because of her tantrums, he felt he needed permission to enter. He, the lord of the manor, had to ask a guest's permission. Lin Yichen had been in a video conference when he heard Suran's was downstairs. Abandoning his executives, he ran over, but stopped himself at the threshold. Remembering her past fury, he hesitated at the door. Meanwhile, Suran sprinted toward him. The short distance from the dining room felt like an impassable mountain. Finally, she caught sight of him waiting at the entrance. His back looked incredibly lonely and humble. In the next second, Suran threw herself into his arms like a cuddly kitten, melting his tension away. "A Chen, carry me to the dining room." He froze, entirely unaccustomed to such sweetness. Looking at his stunned face, Suran pressed her soft lips against his cold ones. Chen, I am too hungry to walk. Carry me, please. That affectionate plea shattered his composure completely, leaving him utterly helpless against her. He would do anything she asked. Under the astonished gazes of the servants, he lifted her and walked toward the dining room. The entire staff watched in utter shock, as if witnessing the eighth wonder of the world. Some even pinched themselves to make sure they were not dreaming. Chen, feed me, she chimed. How could he refuse? In this moment, even if she asked him to die, he would not hesitate. They were right. He was utterly ruined by her. He never denied it because he was entirely willing. As long as she stayed, he was content. Chen, everything I said last night is true. I am not running anymore. I want to stay by your side forever. A wave of emotion hit him. A ray of light had finally pierced his dark world, bringing hope. Ran, can I really believe you? Seeing his vulnerability, Su-ran's heart ached, and she wrapped her arms around his neck. Chen, I love you. Please trust me one more time. I will not run, even if you chase me away. He held her tight. Fine, I believe you. But remember, if you ever deceive me again, I will break your legs. Even if I can only keep your body, I do not care. Hearing these harsh words, Su-ran felt no anger. Break her legs? He would never get the chance. Besides, she wanted him to capture her heart, forever anyway. The two began feeding each other, ignoring everyone else. Watching them, Xiaoya rubbed her eyes repeatedly, wondering if she was hallucinating. Just then, hurried footsteps approached, accompanied by an urgent masculine voice. Master Chen. Our cargo. The man froze mid-sentence upon seeing the intimate scene. His jaw dropped in utter shock. What is the meaning of this frantic behavior? Have you forgotten the rules? Lin Yichen snapped coldly. His good mood ruined, Lin Yichen's face darkened. The subordinate quickly looked down, terrified. Sensing the urgency, Lin Yichen gently stroked Su-ran's soft hair. Ran, I need to handle something. Eat first, all right? Su-ran nodded obediently, knowing he had many hidden identities and vital matters to attend to. But as he turned to leave, she stopped him. Chen, can you buy me a phone? Ever since her failed escape, her phone had been confiscated, cutting her off completely. In this day and age, living without a phone was impossible. Since she wanted a future with him, she needed to reclaim her hidden resources. Hearing her request, Lin Yichen grew tense and guarded. Knowing exactly what he feared, Su-ran leaned up and kissed his lips. Chen, I will not cause trouble anymore. Please trust me. Lin Yichen stood no chance against her sweet, gentle pleading. His anxiety evaporated immediately. All right, I will have one delivered shortly. Is there anything else? She asked. No, go ahead. Back in his office, Master Chen, do you really trust Miss Su? Silence, Shanzuo. Ran is the mistress of this house and my only woman. Show her respect. Shanzuo stiffened, his back aching as he recalled past punishments. He swallowed his objections. My apologies, Master Chen. We are just worried. I know what I am doing. Do not let it happen again. Now what happened to the cargo? Shanzuo quickly focused on business. Someone is hacking our system. The rival hired top 10 legendary hackers to steal the core shipment data. Our defense system is struggling to hold them off. Lin Yichen opened his laptop and logged into a coded database, his gaze growing sharp. 30 seconds, he muttered coldly. His fingers flew across the keyboard, a blur of motion. After just 28 seconds, he stopped. Send these 3 IP addresses to the dark web. They will be taken care of. Shanzuo could only pray for the unfortunate hackers. Having dealt with the threat, Lin Yichen stared at his system. The firewall needed upgrading. Though his skills were top tier, he knew he was not invincible, especially because there was a legendary figure, Pink, who had dominated the global hacker rankings for years. However, Pink had vanished 6 months ago, refusing all jobs. Rumors claimed the legend was dead. Contact Silver Fox. Tell them to hire Pink to build our firewall. Shanzuo hesitated. Master Chen, we offered $300 million weeks ago, but we received no reply. Do you think Pink is really dead? He always takes jobs purely on a whim. We will just keep placing orders with Silver Fox. I refuse to believe Ping will keep ignoring us. That shipment is due in 3 days, and I will deliver it myself. Hearing Lin Yichen's words, Danzuo's face turned pale. Master Chen, that is far too dangerous. The poison in your body, Chen, isn't there a suppressing medicine for it? Lin Yichen spoke, as he clutched his chest, a bitter smile playing on his lips. Danzuo's frown deepened. We have searched the entire city for 6 months now, yet we still have not found any trace of the poison doctor. We still have not found any trace of the poison doctor. Enough, you are getting far too chatty lately. Go get Ran a phone and make sure it is the latest model. Inside the bedroom, Su Ran lay lazily in a rocking chair, casually scrolling through her phone, watching endless messages pop up. Almost all of them were filled with concern for her. Little junior sister, are you being mistreated in Beicheng? If anyone bullies you, you must tell me. Your senior brother will back you up. By the way, I am going to the imperial capital in 3 days and passing through Beicheng. Master asked me to bring you some Huan Yuan pills. If you are free, we should meet up. Passing through Beicheng? Going to the imperial capital from there did not require passing through Beicheng at all. This was clearly just her second senior brother's excuse. Su Ran fought back tears as she scrolled up through the group messages. Seeing the contact named Spirited Old Man, she still did not dare to click in. Right then, her phone buzzed again with another message from her second senior brother. Little junior sister, I just want to see if you are doing well. Seeing this, Su Ran could no longer hold back her tears, and they overflowed. She thought of how, 2 months ago, she had recklessly threatened to cut ties with her fellow disciples just to marry a scumbag. She must have completely broken their hearts. Thinking of this, Su Ran no longer hesitated and sent a voice message. I miss you guys. Then she found the contact nicknamed Spirited Old Man and texted, Master, I am sorry. I was wrong. The moment the message was sent, less than 3 seconds later, the group chat exploded. Little junior sister, what is wrong? Did that man bully you? Do not be afraid. Your second senior brother is coming to Beicheng tomorrow to teach him a lesson. If he dares to mistreat my sister, I will make him stay in bed for 6 months. Little junior sister, we all miss you. Master said that since you made your decision, we all respect your choice. But if you are suffering alone out there, do not hold it in. You must tell us, and your senior brothers will stand up for you. By now, Su Ran's eyes were so blurred with tears she could barely see her screen. Silly girl. Master was also acting out of anger. No matter what, you are still this old man's most beloved youngest disciple. Remember, do not be afraid of trouble out there. If anything happens, my old bones will carry the burden for you. Seeing this, Su Ran was already crying uncontrollably. Gathering her emotions, she replied simply, I am doing very well in Beicheng. Also, Han Muz and I have absolutely nothing to do with each other anymore. As for why, do not ask for now. Oh, by the way, second senior brother, when you come tomorrow, bring me some detox pills. Little junior sister, what is wrong? Fearing they would worry, Su Ran quickly replied, They are for a friend, not for me. Once they finished catching up, Su Ran opened a group chat labeled Big Boss Hustle Group and typed, Is anyone online? The moment she popped up, the chat erupted. Boss! Oh my god, boss, you finally showed up. Boss, where have you been these past 2 days? By the way, word on the street is that you found a man. What? Boss found a man? Who on earth is worthy of our boss? Su Ran felt quite speechless watching the messages scroll by. She bypassed the chatter and messaged Old 8, help me look up some things. Focus on Beicheng's Han family, especially Han Muz, and the cause of death of Gu Mingzi, the second master of Beicheng's Gu family. Boss, what is the story? Is the man you found really Han Muz? Did he cheat on you? You talk too much. Curiosity killed the cat. Just look into it. Understood. Boss, do not worry. There is one more thing. The Shadow Base wants you to help them build a firewall. They have offered 500 million. Su Ran originally had no interest in this job. But just as she was about to refuse, her attitude shifted completely upon hearing that sum. 500 million just for us to build a firewall? Her mind raced and she quickly typed, Deal. 1 week. At those brief words, Old 8 on the other end of the line almost leaped out of his chair in excitement. Boss is ruthless. With everything done, Su Ran suddenly missed her man and wanted to see her Ah Chen. The first step to being together with Ah Chen was sharing a bed from now on. Sister Ya, is Ah Chen at Yaiyuan? Before the woman could even answer, she vanished from sight. Once Sister Ya snapped out of it, she hurriedly grabbed a down jacket and chased after her. At the entrance of Yaiyuan, the guards said sorry, outsiders are not allowed inside. The head bodyguard was polite enough, but his words were still a bit harsh. How about you ask your master? First, to see if I can enter. These bodyguards had prepared themselves to face a storm of anger, but the woman's attitude right now was so pleasant it seemed abnormal. Miss Su, please wait a moment. Step aside, a man's voice called out from nearby. Miss Su, Master Chen is hosting a video conference upstairs. Do you want to see him now? Assistant Dan, please just take me to Ah Chen's bedroom instead. Dan Zuo was puzzled, but he still led Su Ran to Lin Yichen's bedroom. Before leaving, he hesitated, looking as if he wanted to say something. Su Ran naturally noticed his look. Do you have something to say? As she asked, Su Ran unconsciously released the commanding aura of a true superior, leaving Danzuo dazed for a moment. Was it an illusion? Why did he feel an imposing pressure from this woman that matched his own Master Chen? How could an 18-year-old girl possess such an overwhelming aura? Don't worry. I will not hurt your master. In fact, I will send anyone who hurts him straight to hell. Danzuo was even more certain now. Yes, it was this exact suffocating pressure. He then asked seriously, Miss Su, can I really believe what you just said? Of course. Lin Yachin is the only man I, Su Ran, will ever love. By the way, Assistant Dan, have someone move Ah Chen's belongings over to the main building. Danzuo was busy typing on his phone. Hearing Su Ran's words, a flash of vigilance crossed his eyes. Just as he was about to speak, a voice echoed from the doorway. I said, Ranran's decision is my decision. Go make the arrangements now. On the surface, Lin Yichen appeared calm, but his heart was racing with excitement. The moment she saw Lin Yichen appear, Su Ran threw herself directly into his arms, while Danzuo tactfully closed the door behind them. Inside the quiet room, she looked up at the flawless man, feeling his firm, solid chest muscles. She wanted to pounce on him so badly and make this man her private property as soon as possible, but would being so forward scare him away? Oh, come on, what year is it? It is completely normal for a woman to take the initiative. With such a flawless man right here, it would be a total waste not to. Thinking of this, Su Ran's eyes darkened with a deep, complex desire. Especially when she looked at Lin Yichen's sexy Adam's apple, she could not help but swallow. The next second, her fingertips involuntarily brushed across his throat. Lin Yichen froze in his tracks, feeling a sudden surge of pure electricity shoot from his feet throughout his entire body. His once clear eyes darkened with desire, and his grip around Su Ran's lower back tightened. You dare to tease me? Lin Yichen's strained, raspy voice vibrated from above. Su Ran finally snapped back to reality. Oh no, how did she just lose control? She was supposed to be a sweet, cute girl, not some soft little pervert. She quickly stammered in defense. Ah Chen, would you believe me if I said I just wanted to feel your Adam's apple? Lin Yichen already had absolutely no defense against Su Ran, and now, with this subconscious teasing, he was on the verge of losing all control. Is a man's throat something you can just touch? Suppressing the fire inside him, Lin Yichen carried Su Ran over and laid her on the sofa in a few strides. This woman was literally playing with fire. Feeling a certain tightness below, Lin Yichen pretended to be calm as he walked over to his desk, which perfectly hid his awkward embarrassment. Ah Chen, I need to go out tomorrow. This sudden statement instantly extinguished the fire in Lin Yichen's chest. Seeing his disappointed gaze, Su Ran immediately crawled straight into his warm embrace and spoke. Ah Chen, I am only going out to meet a friend. You did not think I wanted to leave here, did you? Lin Yichen did not want to admit his fear. Why do you have to go out? You can just invite your friend here. He sighed softly, leaning back with sadness in his eyes. Seeing this, Su Ran's heart ached with pain, but she had to see her second senior brother tomorrow. Only the detox pills from the valley could suppress the toxin, which was crucial to whether she could stay by his side forever. After weighing her options, Su Ran said, Ah Chen, if you are worried, you can have Assistant Dan come with me, and it will be very quick, and I will be back in 2 hours, okay? All right. I will have Dan Zuo drive you. Lin Yichen really wanted to ask why he could not accompany her himself, but remembering how good Su Ran was to him now, he knew he could not be too greedy. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Master Chen. Dan Zuo walked in, called Lin Yichen's name, and then fell silent. Su Ran tactfully said, You two must be busy. I will go take a walk outside, and left the study. But just as she was about to walk away, she was stopped by what Dan Zuo said inside, which caught her attention. Master Chen, Dr. Lan will arrive in Nancheng tomorrow. Since he is the country's top medical expert, should we have him examine your body? Outside the door, Su Ran's heart skipped a beat. Wasn't the Dr. Lan they mentioned actually her second senior brother? Was Ah Chen's health failing? At this thought, Su Ran desperately wanted to push the door open. But she was stopped by Lin Yichen's words from inside the next second. No need, for now. If anyone notices our people contacting Dr. Lan, they will become suspicious. Right now the toxin in my body can be suppressed with special medicine, so we should focus on finding the poison doctor. But Dan Zuo was extremely anxious, knowing very well that the suppressing medicine could not actually cure the poison. But Dan Zuo, the fewer people who know about my poisoning, the better. You should know what kind of chaos would erupt if this were ever exposed. Su-ran quietly slipped away from the study, her heart feeling much heavier. They really were cut from the same cloth. They even managed to get poisoned together. It seemed she was going to have her hands completely full. Back in her room, Su-ran sat down and wrote out a detailed list and handed it to Sister Ya. Find someone to buy the items on this list for me. Sister took the list, completely baffled. Silver needles? And Chinese herbs? What was the young mistress planning to do? Without another word, she headed downstairs. 10 minutes later, Lin Yuchen was staring at the list she had brought deep in thought. Listen to Ranran. Prepare everything exactly as she requested. Once Sister Ya left, Lin Yichen turned to Dan Zuo. Did your previous investigation show that Ranran ever studied medicine? We are not sure, but in the village where Miss Su lived when she was 12 or 13 years old, there was indeed an old traditional doctor. Hearing this, Lin Yichen's brow furrowed so tightly it could pinch a fly. Forget it, do not dig any further. Also, arrange for Ranran to go to school. She just turned 18 and should do normal things for her age. Hearing about school, Dan Zuo found it even more difficult. Master Chen, what level should I arrange for Miss Su? Middle school? The records show she did not even finish elementary school. Lin Yichen was stumped too. Sending an 18-year-old Su-ran to middle school was just asking for trouble. High school then. Arrange for her to enter her senior year directly. We will figure out university when the time comes. Dan Zuo nodded, thinking his master was behaving like a doting father figure boyfriend, as if he were raising a daughter. In the quiet back garden, Su-ran strolled with Lin Yichen, her arm linked through his while her other hand stealthily checked his pulse. But as time passed, a cold gleam flashed in Su-ran's eyes. There were actually 2 different toxins inside him, and one of them was a slow-acting poison called heart-eroding. Judging by Lin Yichen's pulse, this poison had likely been in his body for 2 or 3 years. The poisoner seemed to have been controlling the dosage. It seemed there was a loophole in his supposedly airtight defense. Su-ran suddenly recalled the Lin Yichen from her previous life. She had never understood why the Supreme Alliance commander, who once dominated both worlds, suffered a massive drop in combat power. It turned out he was slowly weakened by this toxin. Ranran? The man's anxious voice snapped her back to reality. What is wrong? I am fine, Su-ran replied, inventing a quick excuse about the cold. In truth, she desperately needed to figure out how to help him. She had to purge the poison from his body. But exposing her medical skills meant risking her long-kept secret. Ultimately, she decided he was worth the risk. Back in the room, she asked, Chen, do you know you are poisoned? His face grew pale, his eyes suddenly guarded. Ranran, what do you mean by that? Even with the woman he loved, survival instincts kicked in. Su-ran ignored his suspicion and calmly walked over to her desk drawer. She pulled out a leather pouch of acupuncture needles and raw Chinese herbs. Yichen watched her, completely baffled. Looking him in the eye, she asked, I know medicine, and I can cure you. Do you trust me? He stared at her for a few silent seconds before nodding. I do. His instant trust caught her off guard, but remembering his devotion in their past life, she understood. Smiling softly, she reached out to check his pulse. Yichen did not hide it anymore. 6 months ago, on a mission, I caught the Century 3 virus. There is no cure. I was prepared to let you go because I only have a year left, maybe 2. Panicked. Yichen stared at her. Panicked. Yichen stared at her. What do you mean? He was not afraid of death, but he was terrified of leaving her just as she was finally opening her heart. He simply could not let her go. She realized he had no idea he was carrying a second poison. Have you heard of the heart loss toxin? She asked. He gasped. You know about that? She nodded, claiming she learned it from an old village healer. You have been carrying it for nearly 3 years, Chen. The traitor is close to you, he sighed. So, I only have a year left? Su-ran did not look worried anymore. Instead, a confident smile played on her lips. That was before. Now you have me, and you promised to grow as old with me. Her voice turned icy. But first, we need to flush out the rat who did this. He nodded in agreement, though he wondered how she could be so confident. He wondered how she could cure him when the best doctors claimed only one person on Earth could do it, the legendary elusive poison doctor known as Yin Shou. Without Yin Shou, his fate was sealed. But Yichen kept his doubts to himself. If his Ranran wanted to try, he would gladly let her play with his life. Seeing his absolute trust, Su-ran could no longer contain her overflowing emotions. Wait 2 years and let us get married, okay? At the word marriage, Yichen froze before pulling her into a fierce, desperate hug. Are you teasing me, Ranran? I will never lie to you, she promised. Determination flared in her eyes. Since they could not get a marriage license yet, they could seal their bond another way. Carry me to the bedroom, Chen, she whispered. Still dazed by her proposal, he barely noticed her blushing face. He obediently scooped her up and carried her straight to the bed. Though his eyes burned with desire, he tried to control himself and pull back. But before he could move, her soft arms wrapped tightly around his neck. Pulling him down, she left him no escape. Some time later, an urgent ringtone shattered the quiet bedroom. Frowning, Yichen grabbed his phone, only to hear a panicked voice on the line. Boss! Xiaoguang is badly hurt. It is critical. Junin is in surgery now. Yichen turned to her. Ranran, I have to go out. Get some rest. He started for the door, but she grabbed his arm. I am coming with you, she insisted, holding a velvet pouch. 2 minutes later, they arrived at a hidden villa. How is he? Yichen demanded. Multiple lacerations, a punctured abdomen, and a chest wound dangerously close to his heart. Dr. Li is fighting to save him in the operating room. Yichen rushed inside. Chen, let me go in with you, Su Ran pleaded. I promise I will save him. He hesitated, dreading the thought of exposing her to such a bloody scene, but her unwavering gaze made him yield. He subconsciously trusted her. Laojia, get us 2 sterile surgical suits. Without a word, the loyal bodyguard obeyed. Inside the operating room, Dr. Li Junan stood over the patient, intense anxiety visible even behind his medical mask. Beside him, the anesthesiologist stared at the monitors in horror. Blood pressure is crashing. We are losing his pulse. Suddenly, a clear, authoritative voice sliced through the panic. Step aside. I am taking over this procedure. The entire room froze. Dr. Junan opened his mouth to snap at the intruder, but stopped when he met Su Ran's sharp gaze. He thought Yichen had gone mad, bringing this seemingly spoiled girl into a life-or-death situation. Junan, I trust her. I take full responsibility, Yichen stated firmly. With the boss backing her, the surgical team dared not argue, though they secretly wondered who she was. Su Ran ignored them, stepping right up to the table. She unrolled her acupuncture needles. When the doctor failed to move, she spoke coldly. Do not stand in the way of saving a life. Annoyed, Junan opened his mouth to argue, but Yichen quickly pulled him back. Swiftly, Su Ran took 6 silver needles and drove them into key prior points with lightning speed. Junan was about to yell at her for being reckless when the anesthesiologist gasped. His heart rate is stabilizing. Blood pressure is returning to normal. Junan stared in shock, completely silenced. Su Ran ignored the commotion, her focus entirely on the patient. We are starting now. Scalpel. Let us extract the shrapnel. Her commanding aura made the skeptical assistants fall into place instantly. Because the shrapnel was so close to the aorta, the surgery was highly risky. Junan was about to offer to take over when he saw her move. Su Ran had already made the incision. Her surgical movements were incredibly fluid and precise, a level of mastery only achieved after hundreds of operations. Even the genius surgeon Junan felt entirely outclassed. Miss Su, how stuttering, Junan lost his words entirely. Meanwhile, Yichen watched from the corner. His feelings had evolved from sheer anxiety to absolute shock, and now to complete numbness. Then, a sharp metallic clink broke the silence. The shrapnel clattered into the metal tray, ending the critical phase. The entire procedure had taken less than 10 minutes. Vitals are completely stable, she announced calmly. Suture him up, Junan. He is all yours. Let me know when he is stitched up. Su Ran stepped away and collapsed into a corner chair. Though it lasted barely 10 minutes, the intense focus had drained her. Her back was completely soaked with sweat. Yichen rushed over, gently wiping the perspiration from her forehead. She shook her head. I still need to pull the needles out. He is out of danger now. A week of herbal medicine will have him fully recovered. I trust you, he murmured. Junan finished sewing rapidly, inviting her back. Watching her remove the needles with practiced ease, Junan could not help but ask, Miss Su, your acupuncture technique seems very unusual. Do not misunderstand, I am just curious, he added quickly. Su Ran did not mind. It is different. This technique stops bleeding while shielding the patient's cardiac pathways. Junan stared at her, his eyes shining with awe. He will be fine if he does not run a fever in 24 hours. Brew the herbs I prescribed, and do not use any other drugs. Turning to Yichen, her voice instantly became tender. Let us go. Is there a place to rest? The next 8 hours are critical, so we should stay tonight. Of course, come with me. Yichen ignored the team, taking her hand as they walked out. Who was that doctor? Is she our future boss? Laojia, a trusted confidant from the Alliance base, whispered. Junan scoffed. Is it not obvious? Have you ever seen Yichen treat any other woman with such tenderness? Lao Jia blurted out his thoughts. But Miss Su looks incredibly young. Is she even of age? Our boss is practically cradling a seedling. Lao Jia, do you want a beating? Lao Jia shrank back with a nervous grin. My mistake, a total slip of the tongue. Still, she looks like a kid. She is. She only turned 18 2 months ago. Junan shook his head, thinking of the 10-year age gap. Yichen was 28 and Su Ran was 18. That was a massive difference. Lao Jia's eyes nearly popped out of his head. The boss really likes them young, any earlier. And he would be a criminal. Junan's lip twitched. Looking back, it really had been a close call. After all, Yichen had brought her to his villa the moment she turned 18, keeping her under close watch. In the bedroom now, if his men saw him, they would be stunned. This fearsome, cold-blooded ruler whose hands normally sign billion-dollar deals or decided fates was happily serving her with a gentle smile. Chen, why was he not sent to the Alliance Hospital, she asked. Were they not injured on duty? At her question, a cold shadow flickered across Yichen's face before vanishing. Su Ran caught it instantly. Chen, someone is trying to set you up, right? And you are part of the Alliance as well? She asked on purpose. Having lived through a past life, she already knew his deepest secrets. Yichen hesitated, not because he wanted to lie, but because he knew that in his world, knowledge could be deadly. He wanted to keep her safe and sheltered, a pampered princess far from his violent world, but he could not fool her. You are right, Ranran. I am with the Alliance. It was a trap, and they were after me. As for Xiao Guang and his friends, they are just pawns in their power struggle. I don't know if the Alliance Hospital has been compromised. For his safety and to ruin their plans, his injury must stay top secret. It is Han Muze, isn't it? Ever since her rebirth, this was the first time she uttered that name. Instantly, Lin Yichen's face darkened, his eyes towards Su Ran turning cold and guarded. A disappointed, bitter laugh escaped his lips. So, you weren't actually asking but testing me, weren't you? You've known who I am all along. Han Muze told you, didn't he? What else did he say? Did he order you to target me, or to stay close and spy? She never expected him to react this violently. Seeing this proud man in such agony tore at her heart. She realized they had to lay everything bare. Brother Chen, 5 years ago in the Weizhou war zone, did you rescue a young girl from a coliseum? I am that very girl. I still remember the words you said as you pulled me from that cage. You told me not to be afraid, that you were taking me home. Do you remember, Brother Chen? Lin Yichen froze in disbelief. He stared at her, trying to connect this girl to that weak, fragile little child. Ranran? How is that possible? Weren't you in Tian Village all this time? Shoot. In her excitement, she forgot she was supposed to be a country girl. How could a village girl cross the ocean to a war zone? She lowered her head, panic rising. How could she explain this? Brother Chen, I don't know. I was looking for work, got captured by traffickers, and woke up there. Lin Yichen didn't buy it. She had vanished for months every single year, and no matter how hard he searched, he found nothing. Clearly, she was no ordinary girl. Her medical skills were so brilliant that even Dr. Li Junan couldn't compete. Ranran, we were always masked during missions. How did you recognize me? Han Muz told me, she lied. Back then, I accidentally found a photo of your squad. When Han Muze saw it, he claimed he was the one who saved me, so I mistook him for you. Hearing this, the mystery that had Lin Yichen finally made sense. No wonder she suddenly fell for Han Muze the moment she returned. Even with their family engagement, falling head over heels instantly made no sense. His Ranran had actually loved the hero who saved her life all along. Ranran, how did you know it was me? Your eyes, Brother Chen, I've remembered them all these years. But I was blinded by that scumbag and never noticed. She had to lie to him. In truth, Han Muze had confessed this right before her death in her past life. Feeling the girl's absolute trust, Lin Yichen finally let his guard down. He would trust her this once. Feeling him relax, Su Ran secretly breathed a sigh of relief, otherwise she wouldn't know how to explain. If she mentioned rebirth, he might send her straight to a psychiatric ward. Brother Chen, does someone in the Alliance base want to hurt you? Lin Yichen nodded without revealing his true status. Han Muze has always wanted to replace me. So, you are stronger than him, right? Not just now, but I have never even viewed him as an opponent. He is nothing but a clown to me, he declared proudly. Su Ran's heart ached at his words. Yes, 10 Han Muzes couldn't match him. But, in her past life, the villain had used her as a weakness, leaving him completely helpless. But you can handle him, right, Brother Chen? He doesn't belong in the Alliance. Lin Yichen smiled, deeply pleased with her response. Do you really not care about Han Muze anymore, Brother Chen? If I said I want him dead more than anyone, would you believe me? He frowned, sensing a flash of cold, murderous intent in her eyes. He wasn't stupid. He didn't believe this deep hatred came simply because Han Muze had deceived her, but he chose not to pry, deciding to trust her again. Why are you staring at me, Brother Chen? He snapped out of his thoughts. Ran, you seem very different. She didn't panic at all. Instead, she leaned in until they were almost nose to nose. How so? Do you prefer the old me, or the way I am now? Feeling her warm breath, Lin Yichen swallowed hard. As long as it's you, I love every version of you. You never have to hide around me. Just be happy. Before he could finish, Suran stole a quick kiss. Brother Chen, we have a lifetime. You'll get to know the real me. She never wanted to keep secrets, but some truths had to wait. Right now, she was playing weak to catch her enemies off guard. Who knows, maybe one day she would rescue him. Who says only heroes save beauties? She would save her hero. Lin Yichen respected her space. He only cared that she stayed with him, nothing else mattered. Meanwhile, in a Nanchang villa, the living room was completely trashed. A girl with a furious, twisted face sat on the sofa. Soon the front door opened. What on earth happened here? Ron Ruan, my sweet girl, what is wrong? Who upset you? Mom, it's Su Ran. She went too far. She used to welcome me warmly, but today she didn't even know what got into her. She wouldn't even let me past the Tang Palace gates. It was freezing, and waiting 10 minutes in the wind gave me a terrible headache. Hearing her daughter's complaints, the mother immediately joined in. That bitch thinks moving in makes her a queen. Mr. Lin is far out of her league. Dear, you must do something. She still holds 30% of the Su Group's shares. If she actually seduces Mr. Lin, we will never get those shares back. Greed and rage filled the woman's face. Their plan was solid. Bring that brat back, marry her to the Han family, and team up with Han Muze to steal her 30% shares. But this mysterious Mr. Lin suddenly interfered and whisked her away, ruining their entire strategy. Ron Ruan, has Han Muze not visited that bitch lately? To this family, Suran didn't even deserve a name. Hearing her father mention Han Muze, Suran lost her temper completely. Dad, I don't get it. Why must that stupid country bumpkin marry Brother Zay? He and I are meant to be. You are so short-sighted. Did you forget why we brought her back? It was for those shares. Then why must she marry? If we just act nice, she will definitely hand them over. Ruan, did you forget your uncle's will? That 30% only becomes active after she marries. Then why Brother Z? Just find anyone for her. He is not the only eligible bachelor in the Han family, Suan grumbled. She was determined to marry her childhood sweetheart. The thought of that prestigious Tang Palace man falling for an uneducated country girl made her boil. Dad, who exactly is that Mr. Lin? Word has it, he is the lost grandson of the elite Yun family, the child of their missing daughter. Hearing the prestigious Yun family name, Su Ran's eyes lit up. The Yuns were the top family in Beicheng, far superior to the Han family. If she could snag Mr. Lin, it would be even better. While she was daydreaming, Yu Mengjiao handed her a clear vial. Ruan, next time you see her, find a way to slip this into her food. Su Ran took the vial. This wasn't the first time, but she was curious. Dad, what does this actually do? It attacks the nervous system. Over time, combined with hypnosis, we can completely control her mind. I'm just planning ahead. If that brat keeps holding onto those shares, she will regret it. Su Ran grinned. If Su Ran had heard this, she would finally know why in her past life she was always so dazed and confused, completely out of control. The next day, inside Tang Palace, Lin Yichen frowned at his doctor. When Ranran examined me, she found 2 toxins. One is the acid poison you know about, and the other is a slow-acting heart toxin. Have you heard of it? A heart toxin? Li Junan bolted upright from the sofa, looking terrified. Yichen, is this a joke? Do you think I would joke about this? But Ranran says she can cure me. Her? Li Junan wanted to mock her, but remembering Su Ran's medical genius in the operating room yesterday, he bit his tongue. So, you trust her with your life? Lin Yichen looked calm, as if his life weren't on the line. Naturally, she detected it just by taking my pulse. You have drawn my blood for 6 months and found absolutely nothing. This statement left Li Junan so humiliated he wanted to disappear. Yichen, Miss Su is far too young. Age doesn't dictate skill, and you know that. Since you have no cure, why not let Ranran try? He was resolute. He wanted to see just how capable his woman really was. He was willing to risk his remaining year of life on her miracle. At worst, he would die. Ranran will start treatment soon, and needs you to source some supplies. Sourcing is fine. but I must oversee the entire process. Fearing a rejection, Li Junan played his trump card. If you say no, I will call the old master. Lin Yichen frowned. I must discuss this with Ran. As for my grandfather, tell him if you think I am too relaxed about my condition. He then walked out, leaving Li Junan utterly speechless. Moments later in the dining room, Li Junan cornered Su Ran as soon as they walked in. Miss Su, did you really only study medicine in some village? Su Ran nodded. She had indeed studied under her master for only 3 years, but by then she had already surpassed him. Later, she went abroad, studied Western medicine, and accidentally became a renowned expert. Then are you confident you can cure Yichen? Even if I say yes, you won't believe me. My actions will prove it, Miss Su. Can you please take this seriously? Her carefree attitude drove him absolutely crazy. Facing his frantic interrogation, Su Ran turned to Lin Yichen, blinking her innocent eyes. Brother Chen, am I not being serious? Lin Yichen glared coldly at the doctor, then gently patted her soft head. Of course you are. Exactly. I can be casual about anything, but when it comes to your health, I am entirely serious. Brother Chen, without mutual trust, why even collaborate? Lin Yichen turned to the doctor. With eyes full of warnings and threats, Li Junan felt a sudden chill run down his spine. He knew that if he did not state his position right now, 100 sparring sessions might be waiting for him. Miss Su, what do you mean? I was only joking. How could I not believe you? In her heart, Su Ran snorted coldly. Still, she gave Li Junan some face, reaching out her hand. Then, here is to a happy partnership. Just as Li Junan was about to shake it, Lin Yichen stepped in, taking Su Ran's hand into his own palm. Smiling at Li Junan, he said, the treatment is about to begin. I think you can go prepare the supplies. Li Junan could only leave the room awkwardly, returning shortly after carrying large and small bags. Inside, Lin Yichen watched Su Ran busily preparing for him. Stroking her head, he said softly, it is going to be hard on you in a moment, Ran. Seeing this, Li Junan could not help but grumble. I have been running around getting drenched in sweat, yet nobody cares about me. Forget it, this brother of mine clearly values romance over friendship. Ran, do you really have a way to cure the poison in Yichen's body? If I do not have a way, then no one in this world can do it. Although she was highly confident in her own medical skills, Li Junan did not buy it. Pouting, he said, are you telling me you are even better than Dui? Hearing him mention that name, Su Ran pretended to ask casually, so, you guys are looking for Dui? Exactly. That Dui is so elusive. We spent $200 million searching for clues and still have nothing. But even if we cannot find Dui, it is fine. We heard that Dr. Lan is coming to Nanjing this afternoon, and we want to see if we can meet him. Hearing this, Su Ran could only think, the world is way too small. Then, she looked gently at Lin Yichen. Brother Yichen, the treatment will hurt a bit, so you must bear with it. It is fine. I am not afraid of pain. Ran, do what you must. Nearby, Li Junan could only roll his eyes. At this rate, even if Su Ran asked Lin Yichen to die right now, this guy would not hesitate for a single second. Truly, a beautiful woman is a dangerous distraction. The ancients did not lie to me. Then, Brother Yichen, take off your clothes and lie down on that bed over there. Wait, all of them? Hearing this, Li Junan rolled his eyes again. Why did this sound so flirtatious? If Brother Yichen does not mind having an outsider around, I do not care. You will be mine sooner or later anyway. Who is afraid? It is just watching something I should not see. Let's see if you have the guts. While Lin Yichen remained quite calm, Li Junan's jaw dropped straight to the floor. Did this annoying couple always interact like this in private? What kind of suggestive talk was this? Can you two show a little restraint? Do you not see there is someone else here? Su Ran and Lin Yichen looked at each other and smiled. Clearly, what they just said was all in jest. However, Lin Yichen eventually took off his shirt. Su Ran looked at the man's bare chest, her face flushing and her heart racing. Her mind flashed to some rather inappropriate scenes. Fortunately, her rationality returned quickly. After a brief daze, she began applying the acupuncture needles to Lin Yichen. Having assessed Su Ran's skills last night, Li Junan was not too curious at first and stood quietly aside. But when Su Ran took out the 19th needle, Li Junan's expression began to change. From initial confusion to utter disbelief, his eyes widened, and when Su Ran placed the 36th needle, Li Junan's jaw completely dropped. How do you know the soul-chasing 36 needles? No. That is Dui's exclusive technique. What is your relationship with Dui? Are you Dui's apprentice? No, I have never heard that Dui took any apprentices. Li Junan felt his heart leaping to his throat. How could this 18-year-old girl know Dewey's exclusive technique? An apprentice, yes, she must be his apprentice. If not, how could she know the soul-chasing 36 needles? Having just finished, a tired Su-ran sat down, only to be bombarded by Lee Junan's barrage of questions. She originally thought she could no longer hide her identity and was trying to think of an explanation and was trying to had the perfect excuse. But this guy had handed her the perfect excuse. When Lee Junan asked if she was Dewey's apprentice, Lin Yichen was also secretly shocked, a subtle, unreadable smile playing on his lips. Yes, Dewey is my master. But he keeps a low profile, so nobody knows he has an apprentice. Hearing this, Lee Junan immediately became ecstatic. He dashed in front of Su-ran in a single step. If not for hearing Lin Yichen's warning cough, Lee Junan probably would have grabbed Su-ran's hand. Are you really Dewey's apprentice? Can you find your master? If that old senior is here, the poison in Yichen's body can definitely be cleared completely. Hearing Dewey described as an old senior, Su-ran felt a major headache. She quickly feigned calmness and spoke up, my master's movements are unpredictable, so I do not know where he is right now. Then, what if you have an extremely urgent matter with myself? Su-ran replied flatly. The fiery excitement in Lee Junan's heart was instantly doused, but he was still unwilling to give up. Ranran, do you really not know where Senior Dewey is? Aren't you worried about Yichen's body? With just the two of us, when will we ever develop an antidote? You are you, and I am me. I have inherited my master's true legacy. These two petty poisons cannot stop me. Go check on the herbal bath. Is it ready? Once I remove the needles, Brother Yichen needs to soak in the bath. Interrupted by Su-ran, Lee Junan could only leave in disappointment. But he had made up his mind. In this lifetime, he must take Du Yi as his master. Thinking that Su-ran would become his senior sister, Lee Junan decided to treat her much better. What if this future senior sister complained about him, and the master refused to take him in? After filling the tub with medicinal water and removing Lin Yichen's needles, Su-ran had him sit in. At first, Lin Yichen felt like his whole body was being pricked by needles, as if 10,000 insects were gnawing at him. But after enduring for 10 minutes, Lin Yichen felt an unprecedented lightness. Standing nearby, Lee Junan was utterly amazed. Ranran, is this bath really that magical? Can I soak in it too? You can try, but with your physical constitution, you would probably faint from the pain the first 2 times. No way, my body is in top shape, I take great care of myself. There is no way I am weaker than Yichen. Is that so? It seems Dr. Lee needs a comprehensive physical exam, especially your kidneys, lest it affects human reproduction in the future. Damn, no way, Su-ran. Do not try to scare me. I can easily go 7 times a night. If you do not believe me, there is nothing I can do. Doctors cannot heal themselves. I understand. I understand. Su-ran looked at her watch and said, I have to someone, so I won't accompany you for lunch. Hearing that she was leaving, Lin Yichen frowned. But remembering she mentioned meeting someone yesterday, he could only nod. Then I will have Shanzuo pick you up. Half an hour later, in front of the Boyaju Hotel, Su-ran looked at Shanzuo, who followed her out of the car. Assistant Shan, order whatever you want to eat. It is on me. It was obvious she did not want him following her into the private room. Shanzuo hesitated, but remembering Master Chen's instructions before they left, he could only nod obediently. Then he took out his phone and sent a message, Master Chen. Miss Su's friend is also meeting at Boyaju. At this moment, inside Lee Junan's office. Shan, you should also be at Boyaju right now, right? Lin Yichen merely uttered a soft hum, then stood up and walked toward the door. Hey, where are you going? In a moment, aren't we supposed to review the results of lab number 3? Hearing the word Boyaju, Lee Junan immediately chased after him. Wait for me! I am coming with you! Inside the hotel lobby, the manager took one look at the card in the girl's hand, and his body instantly tensed up. Simply because the card in her hand was one of only 2 in the entire world. The owners of these 2 cards were a man and a woman, and the girl in front of him was clearly one of them. Is your boss here? Hearing this, the manager trembled. Yes. Should I notify him to come see you? No need. Take me to a private room first. Then notify Dr. Jiangnan. He knows what to do. The manager respectfully led Su-ran to a private room door. Miss Su, I will be right outside. If you need anything, just call me. Su-ran waved her hand and walked inside. Straight inside, a cheerful male voice could be heard. He was talking on the phone, though about what was unclear. The moment Su-ran walked in, the man hurriedly hung up. Then, with an eager face and open arms, he walked toward her. Junior sister, I finally get to see you. Your second senior brother missed you to death. But before the man could get within half a meter of Su-ran, her ruthless hands blocked his path. Second senior brother, that is enough. Watch out, or you might lose an arm. Did you bring the things I asked for? Lan Ke looked embarrassed. His little junior sister was perfect, except she disliked close physical contact with anyone. Even her senior brothers, who grew up with her, were no exception. If anyone tried to force it, they would, without fail, suffer a one-sided beating from this cute little junior sister. Lan Ke adjusted the glasses on the bridge of his nose and then pushed a suitcase to Su Ran's side. Everything is in here. As he spoke, Lan Ke's hand quickly grabbed Su Ran's arm. Su Ran instinctively tried to pull away, but this time Lan Ke did not let go. Junior sister, I am also following Master's orders. If I do not take your pulse today, Master might personally come to Nanchang. Hearing this, Su Ran gave up resisting and let Lan Ke take her pulse, a hint of guilt in her eyes. It is just some minor nerve toxin. Senior brother, you know me. Is there any poison in this world that can stump me? Su Ran could only confess honestly. If she really alarmed the old master, she would not have a single peaceful day in Nanchang. Lan Ke's face remained calm as he checked her pulse. After a moment he frowned slightly, clicking his tongue. Tesk, tesk, tesk. What a despicable trick. It is actually the puppet poison, but I am quite curious. How did you fall for it? The tension and worry on Lan Ke's face vanished, replaced by curiosity. Puppet poison, as the name suggests, causes the victim to be hypnotized, acting like a puppet controlled by others. Su Ran was speechless, only able to blame the poisoner for being extremely insidious. It happened right after she was taken back by Lin Yichen. Back then, she thought her constant irritability was simply because she did not want to be in prison. Even experts make mistakes. Am I not allowed to have an occasional slip-up? After speaking, she looked at the suitcase beside hers. What is in here? Such a huge suitcase. Well, Master is worried you will be bullied in Nanchang. Half of it is what Master asked me to bring you the pills Master refined during this period. Hearing this, Su Ran's eyes immediately lit up. Are there any longevity pills? Yes. Master prepared a large bottle for you. But Master said the efficacy might not be as good as the ones you refine. No worries, Master's pills are effective enough. Lan Ke did not know what Su Ran wanted the longevity pills for, but they were extremely rare. Outside, they sold for over 100 million per pill. Only these disciples did not take the pills seriously. For a while, Su Ran even ate them like candy, resulting in daily nosebleeds. Oh, by the way, junior sister, Master asked me to pass on a message to you. What good words could that old man possibly have? I might not listen to him. Seeing Su Ran's attitude, Lan Ke smiled dotingly. Out of all the disciples, only she was not afraid of him. She always made their master explode with anger, yet in the end he would always run back to apologize to his little junior sister. It is nothing difficult. Master just wants you to experience school life. Speaking of school, Lan Ke felt a bit melancholic. His junior sister had never gone to school, formally defying performance made them. Her senior brothers feel utterly ashamed. 1 year to finish middle school, 2 years to finish high school, directly admitted to the world's top Lanzhou Alliance University, obtaining her bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in medicine within 5 years, while minoring in finance and computer science. Hearing this, Su Ran's brow furrowed slightly. She had not even figured out how to reject Lin Yichen's school plan, and now her master was interfering too. Second senior brother, let me think about it. Just then, Su Ran's face suddenly changed. In the next second, she darted to the private room's door just as it swung open. Acting on pure instinct, Su Ran threw a punch at the intruder. The man reacted instantly, blocking her strike with lightning speed, but as they recognized each other, both froze. Like Shan Zuo, Shan Yu was Lin Yichen's man, though one worked in the light and the other in the dark. Thankfully, the late arriving Shan Zuo appeared. Miss Su? He gasped, completely stunned. He had thought it was all a coincidence, but now it seemed Dr. Lan, the man they wanted, was the very person Miss Su was meeting. Ignoring Shan Zuo's shock, Su Ran asked coldly, "What is going on?" "Miss Su, you know Dr. Lan? You are actually dining together? Do I need to explain?" "Cut the crap, what do you want?" Su Ran was furious. Her rare dinner with her senior brother was ruined. In the past, she would have broken their legs. Sensing her rage, Shan Zuo quickly spoke up, confessing, "Miss Su, we need Dr. Lan to treat Ah Chen's poison." Shan Zuo nodded, hiding nothing. Dr. Lan, who was hiding in the corner, stepped out. "You know my man's people?" Su Ran asked. Lan Ke frowned. "Han Mu's? Don't mention that scumbag. My man is Lin Yichen. I am marrying him when I turn 20. What? Junior sister, you have only been gone a short while, and you have already gone through guys from 2 countries? Who is this Lin Yichen anyway? Don't get scammed. Men are absolutely no good. Standing nearby, Shan Zuo and Shan Yu's eyelids twitched. Thank goodness their boss was not here, or they would have fought this doctor. And did Dr. Lan realize he just insulted himself too? Hearing him, Su Ran let out a soft laugh. Senior brother, you are a man too, she teased. Lan Qi waved it off. I know, and I never claimed to be good, so don't be foolish, junior sister. You are so powerful, why do you need a man? Isn't being single great? If you want kids, that is not even a problem. We both study medicine, it is easy. Shan Zuo and Shan Yu shuddered. Their master must never hear this, or he would go completely ballistic. Second brother, I will say it again, Lin Yichen is my man. Do not badmouth him. You know my temper. Meeting her gaze, Lan Ke immediately shut his mouth. Seeing him quiet down, Su Ran shifted her eyes to the two brothers. They shuddered instantly, standing as stiff as boards. Oh my God! She was terrifying! Why did they feel the same suffocating pressure from Miss Su as they did from their boss? Miss Su, my brother can't cure your master's poison anyway. No need to look for him. I will tell Ah Chen myself. Now leave, and let us catch up in peace. Hearing they could leave, Shan Zuo felt like a reprieved prisoner. He grabbed his dazed brother and rushed out. Once the door shut, Lan Qi grumbled. Junior sister, I didn't like that. What poison is so tough that I can't cure it? Knowing his pride, she coldly replied, it's the new poison, the Jusan agent. Lan Ke was about to brag, but hearing that name, he jumped to his feet. Holy crap, what kind of blood feud is that? So your man is practically a dead man walking? Lan Ke felt a bone-chilling glare and shrank back, quickly grinning. Hey, I'm just joking. Don't look at me like that. Do you think the Grim Reaper dare steal anyone from my hands? Lan Ke shook his head. He knew her skills. But? Junior sister, if you have time, could you refine some longevity pills? My research funds are a bit tight, and there's an auction in Beicheng in 2 weeks. You know Su Ran thought about it. She had to make pills for Lin Yichen anyway, so it was easy. Sure, I will get them to you before the auction. Is 20 enough? Lan Ke was overjoyed. One longevity pill sold for around 60 million. 20 pills meant 1.2 billion. With stars in his eyes, the greedy doctor nodded. Yes, absolutely, junior sister, you really are the best. Only when there is money involved. I didn't say all 20 were for you, though. We are splitting the auction profits 50-50. Wait, are you short on cash? Lan Ke looked suspicious. That should not be possible. Among all the disciples, their junior sister was easily the wealthiest. With so many income streams, she should not care about exchange. Who would turn down more money? I will blend 2 perfumes later. You contact the auction. After dinner, Su Ran returned to the villa. On her way back, Su Ran kept busy on her phone. Boss, about the level 11 firewall, the buyer just agreed. Su Ran raised an eyebrow. Who is this rich guy? Agreeing so easily makes me feel like my price was too low, or if she undercharged. Soon, the car pulled up at the villa entrance. The door opened to reveal a handsome face. Ranran, are you tired? Want me to carry you in? I'm not tired, Brother Chen. Having you is the best. Silly girl, I'm the lucky one. But I never expected my Ranran to be fellow disciples with Dr. Lan. You hide your talents well. Su Ran knew he would ask, so she leaned close to his lips. I'm very powerful, you know. So, do you trust me more now? Lin Yichen knew exactly what she meant. Stroking her head, he said, I have always believed in you. If you say you can cure my poison, I believe you. He then noticed Shan Zuo lugging a massive suitcase and asked, What is that? Shan Zuo was equally dazed, remembering carrying the suitcase almost threw his back out because it was so heavy. Treasures my master sent me, Su Ran said, opening it up. Lin Yichen leaned in to see rows of jars and rare herbs, emitting a rich medicinal aroma. These are just some pills that extend life and cure all illnesses, that is all. She spoke casually, but Shan Zuo was left completely dumbfounded. That's all? These were longevity miracles, not cabbages. Even the usually aloof Lin Yichen struggled to keep his composure. His girl was truly full of surprises. In the bedroom, Su Ran was still unpacking, lining up her treasures on the table. Looking at the massive collection of bottles, Lin Yichen asked curiously, What are all of these? Oh, this is detox pill, and this is longevity pill, she said, tossing a bottle to him. Fortunately, Lin Yichen was quick, or millions would have shattered. And this is blood replenishing pill, great for blood loss and healing wounds. Have someone send them to the guys injured last night. Their minor injuries do not really need such high-grade medicine, but why not? Su Ran kept unpacking, completely missing the shock on Lin Yichen's face. Don't worry, I have plenty. She pointed to a stout white porcelain jar. Look, there is a whole bunch more, Lin. Yiquan looked where she pointed, his mouth twitching. Comparing that giant white jar to his tiny bottle was like comparing a grandfather to a grandson. A thought struck him, and he asked, "Could you spare a bit more?" "I want to equip my squad with these pills." Hearing this, Suran reacted completely out of character. Like a mother beast protecting its cub, she clutched the jar to her chest, glaring at him with intense suspicion. "No way! I am taking these to the auction house." Seeing her guarding her stash, his heart completely melted. "Are you short on cash?" Suran nodded like a woodpecker. "Incredibly broke. My pockets are completely empty. Even street beggars are richer than me." Seeing her serious, pitiful face, Lin Yichen realized this was his own failing. He immediately pulled out a card and handed it to her. Suran gasped. She knew this card, the Global Diamond Black card. "Take this. No limit, and the pin is your birthday. Buy whatever you want." Suran stared at the card. Oh my, it was so incredibly tempting. But she was torn. Should she be an independent woman, or just a pampered princess and happily accept it? Ultimately, she decided to be a happy, pampered princess. Her man would support her, and she would fund her research labs. Yes, perfect decision. Pocketing the card, Suran smiled. "Since you are so generous, I will give you a discount. 50% off, okay? I can't go lower." Looking at her cute, conflicted face, Lin Yichen found her absolutely adorable. He had not expected this little woman to be such a money grubber. "No discount needed. They are 80,000 a pill, right? Can I buy a handful? How about I transfer 20 million to you first? Isn't that too much? You work so hard. Making money is not easy." "It is fine, it is for the Alliance Squad, so it goes on the company account." Hearing company account, Suran's heart soared. "Company account? Why didn't you say so? I have other medicines here. Want to take a look?" She immediately began pitching everything from injury recovery to body strengthening. Lin Yachin happily watched her antics, finding her increasingly mischievous and lovable. After nearly an hour of pitching, Suran painfully earned 100 million from Lin Yachin. Looking at the long string of zeros that just arrived, she grinned from ear to ear. Glancing at his pile of jars, she pulled out a white jade bottle. "Here, this is a free gift. 10 pills. They can save lives in critical moments." Lin Yachin asked no questions and accepted it. "Hey, keep that safe. It is super expensive. It is an upgraded detox pill." Seeing her treat it like a precious treasure, Lin Yachin took it seriously, storing the porcelain bottle in a special box, while tossing the rest into a shopping bag and tossing them aside. After a busy afternoon, night fell. Lin Yichin looked at Suran, who was still tidying up. "Ranran, what do you want for dinner? Anything, I'm not picky." "All right. How about steamed cod, sweet and sour pork, garlic oysters plus 2 vegetable dishes?" "Some beef bones arrived this morning, so I had them simmer some soup. It's been boiling for hours and should be ready." Hearing this, Suran looked up in surprise. "Brother Chen, you are going to cook?" Lin Yichin took off his coat and nodded. "I've wanted to cook for you for a long time. Will you give me the honor, Ranran?" "Brother Chen, you are too good to me." She threw herself into his arms and kissed him. Just then, an urgent voice shattered the warm moment. "Oh no, something went wrong. Chen Ye is in trouble, and our security system is under attack again."